Hello guys, today we are going to start the discussion with skin anatomy and physiology. 7% of the total body weight is the skin, and there are appendages like the hair, nails, glands such as sweat glands and sebaceous glands. All these together forms the integumentary system. Then coming to the skin layers, there are basically three layers. The uppermost is the epidermis, then comes the dermis, then the hypodermis. In between epidermis and dermis, there's a dermoepidermal junction, or also known as basement membrane. The epidermis has cells and layers consisting. The cells are like keratinocytes, which constitute the 90% of the cell's total cell number. Then comes the melanocytes, Merkel cells, and Langerhans cells. The layers are stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and stratum basale. Here I have shown with an arrow the formation order. The lowermost, that is from the name we can say the basal, it is formed first, then the spinosum, then granulosum, then lucidum, and the topmost layer is the corneum. So we should remember the layers in their order. That is, first formed is the basal, that is the lowermost, and the uppermost is the corneum. Then starting with the discussion of stratum basale, it is a single cell layer. We can see it here. It's a single cells are present and mitotically active keratinocytes, and keratinocytes constitute 90% of the total cell number. Around 14 days are required to move from the stratum basale to reach to the lowermost layer of the stratum corneum. The keratinocytes from the stratum basale, that is the lowermost part, goes to the lower part of the stratum basale within 14 days. 14 days. Slogging of it requires around 28 days. So the time taken by the keratinocytes to move from the stratum basale to environment is called the epidermal turnover time, also known as skin doubling time, and also known as ETT. So in physiological process, the total ETT, that is the epidermal turnover time, is 56 days. This we should remember. And then next comes the stratum spinosum. The stratum spinosum, it consists of keratinocytes. Here we can say there is two keratinocytes and it is connected with desmosomes. Desmosomes are only present in stratum spinosum. The spines or the desmosomes are prominent here, and this is the thickest layer. It is formed of the desmosomal proteins, or also known as calcium dependent adhesion molecules. Then the third layer is the stratum granulosum. Here the granules are present. The granules like keratohyalin granules, the lamellar or the membrane coating granules. The keratohyalin granules, it consists of profilagrin, and the membrane coating granules, it consists of the lipids. The functions are, the lipid, it has a protective barrier, and the profilagrin, it helps in the filament aggregation. It causes disease like ichthyosis vulgaris, and protective barrier, it causes disease like winter eczema. Next comes the stratum lucidum. It is a translucent layer and it has refractile granules of Eden and mainly present in the palm and sole. So we should remember the place of its presence, that is in the palm and sole. The last layer is the stratum corneum, and it is the topmost layer of the epidermis, and it consists of dead keratinocytes and it does not have nucleus, so it lacks nucleus. Then the second layer is the dermis. It consists of collagen, elastin, reticular fibers. Collagen is the most abundant in the dermis. There are two layers of the dermis, that is the papillary and the reticular. The papillary, it consists of just a small part, that is 1/10 of the total, and reticular, it consists of 9/10 of the total dermis layer. There are some cells of the dermis, that is fibroblast, mast cell, macrophages, and the most abundant of them is fibroblast. Then coming to the last layer, that is known as hypodermis, also known as subcutaneous or paniculaceous layer. Here I have drawn a picture to understand the subcutaneous layer. That is, this is the epidermis, under it it's the dermis, and then next comes this is the subcutaneous layer. The subcutaneous layer, it consists of a septa and fat lobules. Under the subcutaneous layer, there is muscles. The muscles are the longest and it connects to the subcutaneous directly. So this was about the 3 layers and I hope it helped you. Thank you.